So, just my whole take on this whole Leafy situation. Now, before we get started, I'm going to say some very unpopular opinions. Um, so if you are a hardcore Leafy fan, there's two things you can do. One, you can probably stop watching this video now because, well, you're about to get upset about some stuff that I'm going to say. Or two, you can start with the hate comments now. With that being said, I was watching on, I think, Drama Alert about his interview. And, he talks about how this came out of nowhere. He woke up and his channel was deleted. And first of all, I kind of find that to be BS. It's hard for me to believe that, with the history that he had throughout the video, the history that he's had with YouTube, as far as getting strikes on his channel, getting strikes on his video, having to get it reversed, it's hard for me to sit there and believe that he just woke up one day and his channel was just gone. Okay, I don't believe it. I really do not believe that. Also, this guy doesn't care. And that's the part that really just irks me. Because everyone in this, everyone in the community, everyone in the commentary community, it's not they're trying to defend him, standing up for him, talking about this is wrong, this is tackling freedom of speech, which, by the way, is BS. But this guy doesn't even care, okay? He has that type of attitude that I really just do not like. The type of attitude when you're at a job and, one of your coworkers is like, oh man, I fucking hate this job, this is bullshit. And you sit there and think, well, you know what, if you feel that way, then leave. And in the same breath, that's literally what he does. He talks about pretty much how he's going to try to fight to get back his channel, but YouTube is bullshit, so, whatever. So, then why are you going to try to fight to get your channel back? Like, that literally makes no sense. And I just don't like that attitude. First of all, and I'm just going to assume that, him going on YouTube, him doing what he's done, like YouTube made that possible for him. So for him to sit there and practically say, kiss my ass, you guys don't mean anything to me, like whatever, your site is bullshit, it's like, but you were on that site for a while. And if you didn't like that site at any point in time, you could have left. Okay? Let's not sit there and try to act like you got your humble beginnings just like putting videos on some random site like you started on YouTube. Like, I don't like that entitled millennial attitude. And that's literally what I heard throughout that whole 9 or 10 minute conversation. And so right then and there, I'm sitting there thinking, well, as a content creator, I should care that his channel got deleted. But his attitude just makes me not give a shit. His attitude just makes me think, you know what? He pretty much did this to himself. Now, I'm just going to give you my take as far as being a commentary channel. Because I've done a couple of videos. And what people don't seem to understand is they start bitching and complaining and they start talking about how freedom of speech, this, that, and the third. You have to understand something. When you talk about somebody, there are consequences towards your actions. The whole harassment and bullying, they didn't just make that up. Okay? Now, you can't control how somebody else is going to react. I don't know who, filed that claim against him or whatever. And everyone can sit there and say, oh, that's BS, throw thick, grow thicker skin, man up, or woman up, or whatever. 1 second. But at the end of the day, and this goes to Melanie P, because she really pissed me off. People are going to feel however they want to feel. And who the fuck is anybody else to sit there and tell how somebody should react? This is one of the things I got really pissed off about when people was coming at Pokimane and how she reacted towards it. You can't control how somebody's going to react to something. So he's done videos like this before when he talked about people and stuff like that. Any one of them could have just did it. Somebody could just be like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I want you done. I want you off this platform. And yeah, now again, I'm just not gonna sit here and try to defend him because his attitude fucking sucks. His attitude is just like, oh, well, I don't care, whatever. Like, okay, cool. Have fun at Storyfire. I'm not talking shit about Storyfire. I'm just not saying that's where he's at. You know, he seems like he's tired of YouTube, so like you can go. Bye. Like, and I also want to sit there and kind of talk more about Optimus in his opinion because he did a video defending Leafy, talking about freedom of speech, and YouTube attacks drama channels and stuff like that, and commentaries are necessary. And I'm like, well, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm not saying you're right either. I literally sat there and listened to him defend him. I'm like, here's the thing. He says that people attack commentary channels and they call them drama channels. Well, if you're talking shit about another channel, about another person, then technically you're creating drama. Because if this person, let's just sit there and say this person didn't know you, didn't talk about you, whatever, and yes, I'm guilty of doing it too. You can look at my videos on Overboard Humor. So yes, I am part of that drama culture or drama channel. 1 second. And so even with me, talking about Overboard Humor and stuff like that, if he decided for whatever reason that I was bullying him, harassing him, whatever, and something happens to my channel, you know what? That's on me. So, the fact that people are sitting there defending him, talking about he has the right to freedom of speech, and, he should be able to say stuff, people should be able to take a joke and stuff like that. Here's the thing. If you're talking about a specific channel multiple times, you're telling jokes, you're criticizing about this and that and the third. Now, we can all sit there and sit there and say, well, you know what, it's just constructive criticism, it's just, your critics, and you can't silence your critics and stuff like that. But then somebody else could sit there and look at it as harassment, Technically, Overboard Humor could sit there and look at my videos and be like, yo, this dude is constantly harassing me. He's constantly sitting there talking about me. Because I've done more than one video about him. So let's not sit there and try to act like, at least, I can understand, looking at his channel and looking at what's happened to him. I'm like, yo, listen, that can happen to me too. But the difference is between me and him is that I will sit there and be like, you know what? If something happens, I own that because I did that. And it doesn't matter what I say to an extent. It matters how he perceives it. So this whole, you should be able to talk, you should be able to joke and stuff like that and riff and whatever. It's like, yeah, you can. But you know what? This whole freedom of speech thing, there's consequences towards your actions. You can't just sit there and talk about somebody and not expect anything to happen. And, while we're on this whole subject about freedom of speech and this, that, and the third, here's the thing about Leafy, here's the thing about me, Melanie P, Optimus, all the commentary channels. YouTube is a private company. Like, we don't own YouTube. So if YouTube decides, yo, you gotta go for whatever reason, you violated this, I didn't like what you said, you gotta go, that's it. And that's the thing that people don't seem to understand. What? Seriously? That's the thing that people don't seem to understand. Everyone's sitting there bitching and complaining about, oh, well, it's unfair, what happened, and blah, 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 blah. You're uploading videos onto YouTube. You don't own YouTube. And that's the thing that people seem like they get this disillusional or whatever, like, oh, well, I'm only sitting there telling jokes, and they're sitting there trying to compare themselves to, like, late night talk show hosts that do the same thing. Is the rules fair? Probably not. No. You know what? I'm going to sit there and say, no, it's not. But we don't own YouTube. So whatever happens with YouTube as far as they decide they want to take down my channel, hell, let's put it this way. And yeah, I can sit there and admit that YouTube has done some questionable things. I'll sit there and say, this is before I started uploading videos. YouTube does have a history of flagging down videos or snippets saying, we're gonna have to take your channel, your videos down because it violates our rights. Now these aren't videos that I uploaded. These are just videos that I saved from somebody else's channel. And they kept to talk about, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, or whatever. And then 2 weeks later, they were like, yo, listen, after review, blah 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 blah. So yeah, YouTube makes mistakes at times, but at the end of the day, it's like, yo, I can be mad at YouTube all I want, but it's not my site. So I really feel, and I feel like I need to stress that to anybody, and yeah, this includes me, that is going to sit there and bitch and complain about YouTube when they decide to take down your channel, or they decide to strike your channel because another person didn't like what you said, and you're upset and you're angry, you want to talk about freedom of speech, this, that, and the third. Just remember, this isn't your channel. This may be my phone, but when I upload it, I'm not uploading it to my website. So, it is what it is. Yeah, that's really what I gotta say. I don't feel bad for the guy. The dude's an asshole. He comes across as this entitled millennial that's just like wants to talk shit about a platform that, one, made him what he was, what he is now, and two, yeah, this could have been going a long time ago. So I just, that's just my whole take on it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Do you think it's fair what happened to Leafy? Do you think that, it is what it is? He kind of got what was coming to him. I mean, again, I've done videos. I've talked about people, and if people want to sit there and come back at me and be like, yo, listen, you harassed me, you did this or whatever, I'm not going to sit there and say they're wrong. I can sit there and talk about freedom of speech until I'm blue in the face, but it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what that person took it as. But let me know in your comments. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Have a good day, and I will catch you in the next video.